gay in your life? Probably a lot, right? You may not actually be trying to hurt anyone, but the truth is that the historical connotation of the word can make it feel like an insult. Imagine having to hide a major part of who you are from the people you love just because you're scared of how they will react. This was my experience until I came out. Always checking what I was going to say, always making sure to keep this part of me locked away until I was sure that I wouldn't lose the people I cared about. Especially in a society where being gay is seen as an insult or something that should be kept hidden away, coming out can be one of the hardest experiences of a person's life. Even today, though I'm out to multiple people, I still have to be careful about what I say and when I say it, which is the case for members of the LGBTQ+ community worldwide. Even though I'm officially out, certain people in my life still pretend as if this part of me doesn't exist, or as if it is something that I've hidden so well that they're not aware of it. It is true that legally, LGBTQ+ people have a lot more rights in certain countries. However, the social aspect is not on the same level at all. Take as an example, on June 26, 2015, a decision was made for the Overgefell v. Hodges court case. All same-sex marriages must be legally recognized in the United States. This was seen as huge progress for the LGBTQ+ rights movement. However, according to the U.S. Department of Justice, 21.1% of the 11,679 hate crimes reported in 2024 happened due to the victim's sexual orientation. This might not seem like a very high percentage, but this is the equivalent of 2,400 people. Imagine someone you love being harmed or even murdered just because of them being themselves. What if you had to hide this major part of yourself just because you're scared that the people around you could react with violence? So yes, it is true that we have rights according to laws and constitutions, but the social aspect needs to reach the same level so that acceptance can truly be created. For example, the word gay is still used as an insult to this day, giving the word a negative connotation. If this word keeps having this negative connotation, more people that actually identify as gay can feel less accepted and like this is something that should be hidden away. Especially in older generations, a man being feminine is considered an insult, when in reality, both femininity and masculinity were social constructs created years ago. Way before even the medieval times, when societies first started to form, gender roles were created. Women were supposed to stay at home and provide for the family, while men were supposed to go to war and be strong. Women were supposed to be weak and fragile, while men were seen as leaders. Take as an example ancient Rome. In the year 342 AD, a law was passed forbidding two men from being married. This law also criminalized a man taking a more passive role in his household. This means that a man allows his partners to take a more active role inside the household and making major decisions. The punishment to this was death by burning. Though same-sex relationships became legal in 1890 in Italy, gay marriage remained illegal until 2016. The fight for LGBTQ+ rights has not been a recent development at all. In fact, most people believe that the catalyst for the actual fight happened on June 28, 1969 in New York City, in a bar named the Stonewall Inn. These police raids were not uncommon at all. In fact, ever since the Prohibition ended and the Mafia took control of most queer clubs, these raids could happen almost weekly, such as in bars like one called the Sea Colony. However, what was different about the Stonewall raid was that the people didn't just run and hide, they fought back. From when the first brick was thrown at the window from a member of the crowd, the call for equality went from a simple cry to a full-on revolution. The people were tired of being treated as less, and they were finally making it known. If we have been fighting to be treated equally for so long, why haven't we received that treatment? Yes, it is true that there are laws protecting LGBTQ+ rights, but nothing can truly be done to create acceptance until we take matters into our own hands. For generations, parents have been teaching their children that being gay is wrong. And this, if it keeps being passed down generation to generation, acceptance can never truly be created. Acceptance for in general cannot exist if acceptance for one group is denied. Despite it being easier for people to be themselves out in public, it can still be incredibly hard in certain spaces. Take as an example comments on social media and put yourselves into the shoes of the victims of hateful comments. Imagine posting something that isn't considered normal. Your comments would probably be filled by hateful people judging you for it. This may seem like something that you can just ignore, but the truth is that even subconsciously, these words will stay in your mind. This might seem like a simple case of people being judgmental, which is something that has been happening since the beginning of humanity, but the truth is that things like these can have extreme results. Take as an example the case of Taylor Alexander, a 16-year-old transgender girl from California who took her own life in 2015 due to the extreme bullying she received while posting her YouTube videos, doing makeup, and talking about her struggles as a transgender youth. So yes, it is true that the lack of acceptance affects LGBTQ+ people greatly, but it also affects people who are not in the community. Take as an example heterosexual men. The idea of toxic masculinity has come to light more recently, and people are noticing how harmful it can be. According to the Pan American Health Organization, or PAHO, 1 in 5 men will not reach the age of 50 in the Americas due to issues relating to toxic masculinity. This organization also states that due to the idea of machismo, men have certain ideas on how to care for themselves and act that might do more harm than good. For example, one of these ideas often involves the lack of self-care and the neglect of mental health. Although the obvious self-care being denied, showing health issues that could lead to death, the neglect of the psychological aspect can lead to suicide due to anxiety and depression. This shows that not only members of the LGBTQ+ community are affected by this lack of acceptance, but everyone in the world can be accepted by this hatred, since men are so afraid of taking care of themselves because they feel that they will be called gay or feminine. If these words keep this negative connotation, this hatred can create even worse results, and we can go back to a point in which acceptance was not great at all. It is time to stop finding excuses for not accepting someone for who they are. No matter religion, gender identity, or sexual orientation, an ideology cannot excuse discriminating another group. Because if we want to be accepted, if anyone wants to be accepted for who they truly are, they also have to accept other people for who they truly are. So we need to stop judging and start accepting. Start accepting the trans person across the street. Start accepting the queer couple at your school. Start accepting the man in a dress that you saw online. We need to stop judging and start accepting, because we know the struggles faced by these people just to be themselves in the public eye without fear. If these people can be treated equally, then we can all create a safer space for everyone to be themselves without fear of being judged. The LGBTQ+ community has been in the public eye for decades, maybe even centuries, but hardly ever in a positive way. I'm here today to change that. We all need to stop judging people for being different than the norm, because we all want to be ourselves without fear of being judged. If we create a more accepting world, we can create a safe place for people who don't fit into the traditional molds set upon society centuries ago. Thank you.